Hello, so this episode is a bonus episode. It's a bit different because I am about to read an article that I wrote for the Allman Foundation. I decided to read that article out loud because I don't know who might need it. And this month, it's September, it's Blood Cancer Awareness Month. And if you have been a listener of this podcast, or if you know me personally, you know that I'm currently in remission from Hodgkin's lymphoma and that I had many treatments to get to that point, including a stem cell transplant, which I had in October 2019, so almost 2 years ago, which was then followed by more treatment, maintenance immunotherapy until spring 2020. So as per their website, the Allman Foundation's mission is the following. We change lives by creating a community of support for young adults and their loved ones impacted by cancer. And so this is the article that I've written, which is called Because Sometimes You Just Need to Ask About a Dog. I'd like to thank my husband as well as Addison, Katie, and Sam for reading the article before I submitted it to Katie from the Allman Foundation. And for giving me feedback. So here we go. The title is Because Sometimes You Just Need to Ask About a Dog. I'm an author. I used to work as a communications officer and as an adjunct professor. Finding words is what I do. Finding words to explain or teach or tell a story. Finding words to clarify information or to show how language works or to create emotions in readers. And yet, when I got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma in October 2017, words failed me. How do you tell people you have cancer? I had no clue and was worried about what they would say in return or not say. It took me months to share the diagnosis with people outside of my very close circle. I didn't have the words. I had turned 36 a few months before diagnosis. For nearly a year, I had been told that my back pain was due to bad posture and weak muscles. The incessant itching on my legs and arms was due to dermatitis, and the sharp pain I felt when having only one sip of alcohol didn't mean anything, despite me mentioning I had read it could be a rare and early sign of Hodgkin's lymphoma. For nearly a year, my symptoms were ignored. When the half-gallon tumor started pushing out of my chest, my world imploded. Everything moved lightning fast and way too slow. Blood tests, X-ray, CT scan, calling every day to get an appointment for a biopsy as quickly as possible, until a surgeon looked at my scan and moved the appointment up. I still remember him explaining I should sleep propped up to make sure I could breathe. Once the biopsy results showed Hodgkin's lymphoma, I was admitted into the hospital. More scans and a bone marrow biopsy later, I could write an entire article about that experience. I had my first treatment and an allergic reaction to the anti-nausea medication. From the beginning, my voice wasn't heard. My words didn't matter. I had to quit my job. Our support system was spread around the world, and I was scared. There's no manual on how to be a cancer patient. Yet, I tried so hard to be a good one. I didn't want to be a burden, and there's this pressure, imagine or not, on the need to be positive. So, when the neuropathy and disease spells made it harder to walk, I told myself I should be more optimistic. When I started to lose my hair, I thought I should see the bright side. When I was crumbling, I berated myself for not smiling more. The words I could have used to express the emotions rushing through me were hiding under a pile of should. And then my questions and worries about certain decisions weren't seriously considered, adding to the stress of it all. I spent hours researching, reading established medical journals, becoming as informed as I could so that I could feel like a part of my care. More often than not, my concerns were dismissed, resulting in excruciating pain and terrifying moments. That is, until the interim PET scan. That scan wasn't as good as expected. That scan made me interesting, according to one of the doctors. I don't have the words to describe my feelings then. In the meantime, I wondered what to tell people. Readers who inquired about my next book, students and colleagues who reached out, friends who wondered why I wasn't posting as often on social media. I was waiting for good news to share. Instead, I finally shared what we had been going through as I still had issues breathing, and as we were engaging in the process of seeking a second and third opinion. After those opinions, we decided to change care. And I say we because my husband is and has been there with me every step of the way. Changing care was a difficult decision to make. Changing care was the best decision for me. Changing care gave us hope. I could write novels about that decision. I am grateful to my entire team at the University of Maryland Marlin and Stewart Greenbaum Comprehensive Cancer Center for giving us that hope. My oncologist, the whole nursing team, the survivorship navigator, and my therapist who helped me find ways to deal with my anxiety, understand it's okay to not be okay, and gave me the tools I needed to enjoy the moments I could enjoy more fully. My therapist helped me find my words again. At the University of Maryland, I finally felt like a part of the team and didn't have to worry about my words not being heard. At the University of Maryland, we found out about the Ullman Foundation and met Megan Solinger, one of Ullman's patient navigators. Treatment days can be a roller coaster of emotions and physically challenging, even if everyone does everything to make treatments go as smoothly as possible. The nurses in the infusion center were supportive and present and excellent. Like them, Megan from the Ullman Foundation was there at every treatment, making us smile. Seeing Megan felt like a window to the outside world within the hospital, a moment of normalcy when you no longer know what normal is. Even with the Benadryl making me woozy and with some treatment days better than others, both my husband and I looked forward to seeing Megan. Every single time, we asked about Megan's dog. She told us about Frankie's role as a comfort dog for the shock trauma medical team, told us and showed us pictures of him on the paddleboard. We showed her pictures of our beagle. Through each treatment, we spent at least 10 minutes feeling like cancer did not define us. And I know it doesn't. Even hooked up to the IV with drugs dripping into my veins, cancer did not define all of me. But during those days especially, it was harder to remember. With Megan, we just got to be Alex and Elodie, just us, laughing. She offered us a respite in the infusion room where we could talk about treatment, biopsies, or scans, but we didn't have to. We were not forgetting about what was happening, but I did not feel like I had to put on a brave face or be careful about my words. We could talk about our dogs. I asked my husband to tell me a few words about what those moments meant for him as a caregiver. He said, during that time, Megan being there was a distraction from the treatments that made me feel less alone as a caregiver. When I needed radiation, Megan came to see me in the waiting area. When I went through an autologous stem cell transplant, one of the trainees from Ullman came to visit and mentioned Megan was doing Ullman's Key to Keys bike ride. When I went home after the transplant, she kept in touch via email. And I never had to worry about my words. Megan and the Ullman Foundation felt like an integral part of our team. And Megan's dog too. Because sometimes you just need to ask about a dog. Thank you so much for listening. If you want more information about the Ullman Foundation, you can go on www.ullmanfoundation.org. And if you want to find out more about blood cancer, because every 180 seconds someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer, you can go to www.lls.org. And to the writers out there, happy writing, and to everybody, happy reading.